So this is my VOD review for Reebedid here. He told me that this was a comp game that he won and he was proud of. And he asked me to give him a few pointers on what he did well, what he did wrong, and let's see what he did to lead his team to victory. Alright, so first things first, I like that you're set up on this bridge here. I like that you're taking a different angle, which is high ground.
Do not disappoint me.
That's pretty good. That's a nice use of Hanzo Recon Arrow.
The barrier endures assault. The enemy has returned to
You're focusing the squishies. You can push your advantage here. Using your barrier to protect Genji. So far, very solid. Alright, this is about the time that I start backing off because their entire team has respawned by this point and your barrier is low. And you canceled your kinetic grasp with a rock, so it's gonna really hurt you in terms of your sustain.
collapsing the barrier.
I wouldn't use rock on Ball because he's just got a shit ton of HP. I'd rather use rock on the squishies that are all here clumped in front of you. This is like Sigma's wet dream. It's like a bunch of squishies that are clumped together. You can really use your AoE damage and probably get a kill out of it. Like, I would just completely ignore Ball. Like, your team can probably kill Ball, like, by themselves. You can kill their entire team by yourself. Ball doesn't really have the damage to kill multiple targets, but you do. Like, if you were marking Ana, your Genji wouldn't have died. What the fuck is Slug doing? Good, okay. Now that you're ignoring Ball, right, you can... I'd shift my attention off towards her and try to kill the 1 HP Ana. Because she's definitely trying to move into this room here for health pack. I like that you, like, even though you're bronze, you still know, like, the primary fire melee combo. That's a fundamental skill on Sigma, but I'm glad that you do know that, because a lot of people don't, actually. Actually, I don't know if you're, like, meant to be bronze, or if you're just, like, beginning of season. Okay, now that you have Lucio ultimate, this is your very tight window to move over to safety, because right here, like, you're kind of fucked. Like, you're completely boned. Like, I don't know how to turn the camera on spectator. There's, like, these three here trying to attack you, and, once, I don't know how to fucking move in this camera. Hold on. Alright, so anyway. So you're here in this room, which is cutting off line of sight from here. But once you eventually are forced out, because you can't stay here forever, it's going to be very easy for them to shoot you here. Because Junkrat might be coming over on this side, or he might come here. And then you're just a completely open target for everyone in this passageway. So you really just want to get out of there as soon as possible while you still have Lucio shield. Yeah.
Experiment is ready.
That might have been why you lost this first point.
Enemy turret ahead.
Surrender to my will.
Hello there.
This is an interesting way to walk the point, but I actually like it. Yeah, that's huge. That's really huge. I myself, I wouldn't have thought of that. I would just walk the point. That was a really good angle that you took there.
Convene here. Proclaiming a barrier.
I like that you're targeting the Mercy here, which is a good touch in the break. Okay, good. You saw a trap earlier, but you were probably focused on other things. That's fine.
Gravitic flux isn't quite ready yet.
Ball is behind you, but I'm glad that you're still ignoring him, because he's not the problem. Okay, you might be getting solo junk rolled. Yeah, so that kind of sucks. The best thing that you could do is just like quickly flick your shield behind you, because you know that's where the Junkrat tire is coming from. Besides that, it's just kind of stupid. I don't like the fact that Junkrat tire can one-shot Sig. That's like way too much damage, in my opinion. Now, I'm looking at the kill feed, and I'm thinking, yeah, this point's doomed. There's no point in coming up here, because if enemy team is smart, they're just going to walk through here and then cut you off, or just start running at you. Like, they'll send some here, and they'll send some here, and then you're going to be fucked. Your respawn timer is going to be staggered from the rest of your team, and it's not good. Or you just die. Like, you've already used Kinetic Grasp, and you're kind of left without a team, and you're just dead.
So, it's rebellion then. Enemy turret ahead. Enemy turret destroyed. The barrier cannot withstand much more.
There's a Brigitte right next to you, and you're on the Mercy, your team is pinging it. And then instead you're shooting the tank, and you really don't want that. You do land your shots though. Yeah, you definitely don't deserve bronze, that's for sure. If I was looking at this blind, I'd say that this is like flat. Like, yeah, you see Junkrat with Recon Arrow, so you need to shift your attention off of him. But yeah, this is very solid right now. You're hitting your shots, and for the most part, your attackers pushes. Nice, watching the res. No, don't look at him. You had your sights on Junkrat. You already hit Junkrat with one ball. You could have easily taken him down. That kind of blows. Try shooting the Hammond mines behind you first. But I wish that you just killed Junk earlier. Okay, well well, that just happened.
I rise from darkness into glory. Enemy turret destroyed.
Punch her. Okay, I don't know if this is I don't know what that was. If I feel like you had her on the ropes there. You should have just finished the job. Don't use your ultimate here, please. 2 ultimates were already used on your team. Yeah, I don't really think that ultimate was very needed. The team fight was already looking like it was won already because they were retreating. You don't need to use your barrier to destroy Hammond mines. You can just use your primary fire. That's like more of like an emergency type situation when you use your barrier. If you like have to move right now. But you do that in tandem with shooting. You just keep on standing here and make it impossible for them to move to the corner. You don't put your barrier up when Junkrat ults, and you need to fix that because it's gonna cause you to be dead a lot of times. But overall, for a round, I'd say this is very solid. Just a little bit more cleaning up of barrier usage because you're kind of letting it take a lot of damage from nothing sources. Like Junkrat spam through this choke, Junkrat spam through any choke. You really don't want your barrier to be eating up spam. That's what your grasp is for. Because that damage at the end of the day isn't really doing anything. It's not threatening lethal on you. That's just free, so like we'll charge for your supports. What your grasp is for is like yeah, you can throw out your barrier in the beginning of a fight so you can start poking at them and they can't poke at you. You retract your barrier once it reaches like half HP because you really don't want it to be low, in case like emergency cooldowns get thrown out, like on a nade or Junkrat ult or any big attack that you don't want hitting anyone. Another thing why you don't want your barrier to be exploded is because let's say Hammond gets a little too overzealous and tries to you know, push past your team and he's low. You can quickly put out your barrier and block his support's line of sight. So like let's say that their enemy supports are like here, right? And this is the choke point and Hammond is like here and he's low HP. Now sure, you can stand here and block like what, 1/8 of the choke point, or you can put your barrier at the choke and Ana can't shoot Hammond. She can't shoot him. So that leaves him completely vulnerable without heals, and it's like the same thing as an anti-nade. So in the mid fight, when you're starting, you use your actual HP resource as another form of sustain. And then once you reach like around half HP, once you're like getting a little bit scared, then you use your grasp, you eat up as much spam as possible. Then you'll probably be left at like 500 HP, you're chilling. Then you can use that over health to recharge your barrier. And at the end of the day, if you actually use all that shielding, you'll have like 1,500 HP just like from yourself of just like damage that you can absorb. And that's not including the healing that you're getting from supports. So it's very important to manage your cooldowns on SIG so you can maximize the amount of damage that you can mitigate for your team. Another thing that you should clean up is your target selection. For the majority of the rounds, you were doing it good, but the times where you weren't, that's when you know, they were able to breach the front lines and push past you. Like, yeah, Hammond is being an annoying piece of shit in your backline, but that's kind of like what Hammond does. It's not really your job generally. Like, yeah, if he's like fucked without cooldowns, you can rock him and it makes it really easy for your team to kill him. But majority of the time, that's not what you want to be focusing on if you want to be the main factor in your games.
I'm talking to you. Oh, there's another one. What delightful creatures. Proclaiming a barrier.
What the fuck is Mercy doing? You wanted to rock Mercy there. You want to shoot Mercy right now. Okay, Mercy was just being a dumbass, and you should have been the reason she died, not Genji. You're getting a little bit too close and personal. You saw they have Symmetra. You should be able to anticipate that they set up the car wash already, and you're in Reinhardt's face, so you're just gonna die.
I'm at the objective.
Death
Anyone
has
else
no
coming?
dominion over me.
Like, this is when you realize that you can go in when Reinhardt doesn't have any supports and he's kind of put in a bad spot. That's when you can get up close and personal.
Your presence is acknowledged.
In general, though, I do think that this point was taken because of your DPS, not necessarily you. But that's fine. Not always are you going to be the hero of the story. You don't want Symmetra to charge off your barrier. Symmetra's a big counter pick to Sig because she can get free charge. It seems like your soldier turned on his monitor and he's just popping off.
Right away. The barrier appeared.
The payload moves towards our desired
If I were you, I'd try and get on high ground or take another angle so the enemy team has another thing to look at. This is huge, but don't get swept by Ana. I guess Ana forgot that Six existed. When D.Va's demeching, if you've watched the Karki video, which you did say that you do a lot of research on the character, when D.Va's demeching, right before she's about to eject, you can just shoot her mech. It's guaranteed damage. It's going to do at least 75, and that'll leave her on half HP. You did it a little bit too early. You probably were trying to do that, but just so you know, that's a thing that you can do.
Touched by infinity.
You're not getting past that.
With the payload.
Retract your shield and go on the left or right choke. You don't want to retreat back here because you're giving the enemy team all this space here, and it allows them to go to this side, go up here, take this high ground. If you were standing here or here, they're forced to look at you, and you're still in line of sight of your supports, so you're fine, right? Once you see that, because you know Mei wall's down, that's gonna be down for like 14ish seconds. Once you see Reinhardt's getting like really up and close and personal, yeah, you can start backing off because you don't want to get pinned off the edge. But you don't want to be standing here because this allows enemy team to take this flank, this high ground, this flank here, and push up onto you, which you do not want. I don't know what your Genji is cooking. Like when you use your kinetic grasp and you have overhealth, you don't want to put your barrier up because that's health that is gonna go away anyway. So you don't really care about it. You want it to be used. Kill Ana, please. This is a good fight from your part, using your AoE well and focusing squishies, and this is when you're killing everything. So when you stop, you were focusing D.Va in the beginning of the fight, nothing was dying. You start focusing squishies, they all die. It's as simple as that. Push up. Okay, you don't push car here. That's useless. You want to stand here. You make it so they can't walk up because you'll see them trying to walk up. You'll do a ton of damage. You can flex them up in the air. You'll Sigma 9 them. They can't even move to the cart and they're just dead. Your soldier is also proven to be very well, like good at the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if you knock him up and he sets them down. Close. Like me personally, I just solo ult one of the supports and just end the game. Yeah, so Ana's dead. Oh, they just C9'd. But you saw Kiriko right here. Ana was dead in kill feed. If you can just solo ult Kiriko, she's gonna probably use Suzu to get out of it. But that'll leave her without Suzu. She'll be on low HP. Like, or you can do another path and solo ult D.Va, but she'll probably just Suzu D.Va instead. And D.Va has more HP, so it's less valuable. But yeah. So so with this round, target selection was a little bit better. I like that you cleaned that up. But this instead, it's when you know enemy team is all dead, when you team wipe them, you need to position yourself in a way that allows you to cut off their options. Because especially when you were on the Eichenwald bridge here, yeah, this proves this is what I was mainly talking about. There were other things too, but when team is wiped, you want to cut off their options because this all this space is yours. They can't do anything about this because they're all dead. So you do not want to give them options. It's your job as a tank to absorb enemy aggro and cut off their options, right? So you don't want to stand on the cart because generally that's more of like a support job or like long range DPS job, and they can stand on the cart and provide their value from longer ranges. Sigma, yes, is a long range character, but compared to that's compared to other tanks. With most heroes in the game, he's still like mid range. So this is more of a like your entire team is kind of running close range characters except for Soldier. So it does kind of suck, but generally speaking, like especially in this sort of situation, you really want to stand up here and cut off their options. Overall, it was a very good game. If you remember earlier, like I watched you play that game on the push map, um, where you weren't like focusing squishies and you were getting too close to Reinhardt's and stuff like that. Like this game, you knew when you could go up. You were taking out key resources, and your target prioritization is a lot better. So if you keep on playing like this, you will climb out of bronze for sure. Like if I was just sent this replay, I would say this is like mid high plat. So that's just my 2 cents.